Okay, Thursday, February 5th. Another exciting day in the markets.
You're just going down, man.
Dropping, dropping, dropping.
Which is it's funny though. Like you remember the room chatter, and I think it was probably like about a month ago, certainly in December at some time. We just kept saying how high we were, and just that the market was just sucking wind. Like they're doing everything they can to maintain this level up here. So I guess on the one hand, it's not terribly surprising. So anyhow, how was your overall day?
So, my wife flew to Virginia this morning, so I had kid duty. So, I didn't get back to my computer till about 10:30, and there was already a bunch of movement. So, I just kind of said, I'm just going to not trade today.
Oh, bummer. Okay. Well, we'll go over what happened and where we got it right, where we kind of missed. There was a missed opportunity that happened this morning. It was unfortunate. So we'll start here with the ES. And we'll blow this thing up here. All right. So once again, we started the morning off kind of inside of a scenario. So we had yet another. It seems to be like our morning routine anymore. We had another scenario that had already played out in the couple hours before the market opened here in the 7 o'clock hour. So we knew that that had already happened, and we knew that there was a decision point that had already been made around 862 that was going to push us into the next scenario. So really, it was just a start in the morning. The same thing was find our 920 bar. There we go. So there's our start of our conversation. There you go. So every morning, just start around 9:20, start chatting about what's happening, where the market's at, and it was almost exactly the same thing as yesterday. They're like, well, you can sell from here if you want, but as always, I would rather it bounce to get a better price. So that being said, this was the miss, and I'm still kind of miffed by it. So we had the decision point associated with this series, which again, kind of keeping things into context, we were already into the series. So here we are at 9:20, just starting our chat. We'd already accomplished target one before we even got rolling. And then as 9:30 rolled around, 9:35, we then got already to target two. So again, it slid further. So here's the kind of the trick to the market, right? They always want to try to capture you, and you become, the cleanup crew. So we teach very heavily against this. That like we're already in the move. Please don't chase. If it just continues to slide and fall from here, so be it. That trade's not for you. So we were looking for, as always, the bounce, or at least the pullback in this case. So the pullback that we were shooting for was the POC up here at 85, or the decision point at the 68.88. Well, it stopped right about 81, which was not really on my radar. So all my entries that I had here for the morning session were a complete bust. And as it, hit candle 1, 2, it of course was back at and below target 1. I missed it. So such is life. But my win, which I was very thrilled about, came later in the day. So here we are. We called all these out early on in the pre-market, and right about 10:10, we hit the rubber band, and about 10:20, we blow through it. Okay, similar to yesterday again, we had a hurdle that had to be overcome. And this hurdle, kind of a big picture thinking hurdle again, which also, interestingly enough, turned into a decision point. So not only was it a hurdle kind of in the earlier part of the day, but it was going to be a decision point for yet another whole scenario to the downside if they broke through here. And again, if you hadn't gotten short way up high, it's the same story. Like chasing down here is kind of a fool's errand because you need a better price. So here was the win for me. I had said just before I left the room, right around 11:10 or something like that, I said, despite what happens at this point, that has to hold, and we labeled it up here. I'll just highlight it for you folks. we said that this zone here between 67 and 63, that zone has to hold at this point in order to continue to the downside. So I literally just set a whole bunch of contracts up here and I left. I had my stop in place and several of them were like attached to an ATM. So they were getting out at like 5 points and 10 points and so forth. But I still have contracts running from this entry because they never came back and stopped them out. So that was my ultimate win for the day. And they're still targeting what we had targeted this morning. So targets here at 96, 783, and 768. So these are all still in play, as well as the bigger scenario also, which leads us really far down. But again, all still active, all still running. So we'll see. We'll wait for it to do whatever it does in Globex and we'll attack it again tomorrow. That's the ES. And the NQ. Similar again, but not quite the same. So, how many days in a row have we said this? Like the NQ just seems to be cooperating pretty well recently. So here we go, 920. Let's find it here. So there's the 920 bar. We started talking. Same thing. We had already achieved one target of the first scenario that we were kind of coming into. And then same deal, 935 rolled around, we achieved second target. And this is pretty typical, right? Like they hit targets, they retrace. They hit targets, they retrace. How far they retrace is something you have to watch and then gauge later. But we were looking for the NQ to come back to the decision point up here at 915, which they did. Didn't really have a convincing close above it. So this was my win on the NQ today. I just took the short off of the 915 down to the targets that we had posted. So it was quick. It was super fast. It was target 1, target 2, target 3. And then we even ran into another scenario here. Target here, hurdle here at 628. And then as they hit this rubber band down here, the conversation kind of, I shifted the conversation for the room. I was like, guys, if you look at this, like they're having a real struggle here. So it's a very high likelihood they're going to bounce it again. If you look correlation-wise with the ES, it's the same time of day that the ES ran back up to our has to hold. They didn't give us a has to hold on the NQ the way that they did on the ES, but they didn't have to. Because again, if you understand the series and you understand where they're starting and where they're stopping, this was the decision point here for these targets way down here. So they don't have to. Like they don't have to provide any additional information. As long as they stay within inside, I didn't really drag it down far enough. As long as they stay within inside the parameters of the scenario. So again, if I were just to draw a box like that and say, look, buy low, sell high. If you're getting closer to the bottom of this box and you're thinking of selling, probably too late. If you're up closer to the top of the box, that's a much better option. So when it peaked out up here, again, if you knew this, then another good short opportunity. But I had taken this one, so I didn't really need to do any more. Oh, hey, we're about to hit target 2 down here at 421. We're doing it live here, folks. Like, it's really happening. We called this out at 7 o'clock in the morning. Here we are, almost there. Yeah, the real struggle is going to be at 310. My feelings are here that it's going to probably pause somewhere between 310 and that rubber band at 193. So we're probably going to have a real struggle bus to get through there. So
that November low is at around 150, so it could easily go down there and
150. Okay.
Right there at the rubber band, it could go down there and take out some stops. That'd be pretty cool if it bounced from there.
Yeah, I would assume they're going to hit this 310 or within a few. It's the NQ, so it's not going to be precise. But yeah, I would assume it's going to hit this 310 and struggle hard. Probably go sideways for the rest of the night. Yeah. So anything I missed?
No, I don't think so. That was pretty much another crazy down day. Looks like
Yep.
people were able to get a couple trades in this time and yesterday too, so that was good. Um, Last week it just took off and there was really no entries whatsoever, which was frustrating. So at least there was some pullbacks.
Yep. Yeah, that's just kind of the deal, right? If you're disciplined enough to just recognize the days that if it goes without you, it goes without you. You know, it is what it is. But if you can hold tight to kind of the plan and just say, no, I want a better price. So even if it's going up and you feel like, oh, I missed it, just, hold to your guns and wait for it to come back. Like, get a better price. Same thing if it's going down, wait for it to go up, get a better price.
Yep.
I would rather find the turn than chase the sucker. Like here we are, we're about to hit target 2, even on the ES. So like, yeah, you needed to get in way up here, back at the has to hold zone. I mean, it looks silly now, right? People are just like, well, why didn't I sell from up there? I'm like, well, I told you to sell from up there, so I don't know.
Right.
we literally labeled it. If it doesn't go through here, it's still good for a short. So yeah, I know it just seems like it feels like you're trying to catch a falling knife in the moment.
Right.
But I don't know. I take on the position that I would much rather. Again, I know this is pretty high up, so if it's going to go against me, what's the worst that's going to happen? I'll lose, some number of points based on what I can provide in the stop, maybe 4, 5, 6 points. I would so much rather that than wait for it to go down, then like, I don't know, right about here, you're like, okay, now I'm convinced it's really going down. So you've watched it fall, 40 points. And this is what happens. I'm not even kidding. Like it's unfortunate. But literally this is what happens. It falls 40 points and people just start jumping in. And what's the market do? Takes you right back up. And then of course you can't survive the
It's that
the drawdown and everybody bails.
It's that first pullback candle there, that blue candle that usually used to get me. That's go to the left, to the right, down at the bottom when you said they were going to chase in. I see that pullback and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm getting a better price. No, I'm already way in this move, so I'm doing a better job lately of not doing that. But that was definitely me 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah. My next contract's coming out here in just a little bit, and again, it's all from this entry I got in up here. I just layered in to this position. It's kind of staggered in some contracts, and they're still running. So it's a cash account, so it's no consequence here. But take it to the targets if you can. Take it to the targets. But that's what we do here. We're trying to give people the understanding of like where's the market going ahead of time. You don't have to wait and guess. Like we have a pretty good idea most days. There are some days, can't win them all. But for the most part, I don't know, what's our percentage? Like what's days that we don't actually get to target?
Oh geez, I would say it happened a couple weeks ago and it was like, oh wow, that hasn't happened in a while. So I hate to throw out numbers, but it seems like 1 in 10 or 1 in 15. It's low.
We'll go with rare. Yeah, we'll go with rare.
Rare, yeah, it's very rare. That's a good point. Yeah.
I'll take my medium rare, sir. All right, guys. But either way, it was a good day overall. If you were patient, even I missed the first entry. Just completely missed it on the ES. I got the NQ because it went there. Great. ES, it missed me. Oh well. So I let it go, came back. I just took the second shot, and here we are. It's all good.
Sounds good. We will see you guys tomorrow for Friday fun.